Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for today's video. I wanted to get at you real quick. This is just, well, I'm getting off work and heading to the gym, but this has really been hitting me on another level about this whole narcissism thing. And I touched on this the other day and I touched on this this morning's video, but I'm going to post this as well because I've been learning and getting deeper into the pathology and the etiology of this. This is stuff that it's on a spiritual level and people don't want to admit that and accept that, and the psychologists and psychotherapists don't or can't or don't care to. But I'm telling you, this is a spiritual issue, and the more I go into this, the deeper I go into it, and I have been. The longer I study this, I'm starting to figure it out longer. I'm starting to figure out more and more how they become reprobate, how they become who they are, and how they give up on their true self for this false self, and how it goes down, and how they cannot be saved, and all of these things. But people, a lot of times, and I'm going to tell you this is the honest to God truth, and I'll probably lose some subscribers from it, but I don't care. This is the honest to God truth. People don't want to hear the truth. You hear me? They don't want to hear the truth. You know what they want to hear is how they can get the narcissist back half the time. And that's, I'll tell you, because I run a channel. You know what gets hits? When you start doing videos about, you know, what the narcissist is doing and how you can, things about how they love you and all this crap. And there's a lot of channels on there that do a lot of that. And I'm telling you, man, those are the videos that get views, lots of views, because you got heartbreak out there. And they want to hear all that stuff that makes their ears tickle, man. But when it comes to the truth, they don't want to hear it. But I'm going to tell you anyway. And the truth of this is, why do they come to you and they always say they beat down the primary source supply the hardest, right? They beat down the primary source the hardest, and this is why. It's not just because they got you and they want to disrespect you. No. What it is they got to continually work on getting deeper and deeper and deeper into getting you to pour it out more. Because two things, they want to become you, and they have to project themselves fully onto you before they leave. They want your identity. They are identity stealers. This is something people don't talk about. I haven't heard it that much. Very, very few people. They might talk on, oh yeah, they want your energy and your fuel, but they don't tell you this. They want your fuel because they want your identity, because they don't have an identity. So the dark energy inside them has taught them these things. This is not just stuff that they innately figured out. This is not from fight or flight. Everybody wants to correct me on that. Fight or flight, or fright or flight. What's the damn difference? This is the deal. They got to get deeper into your soul energy so they can draw it off of you, so that's where your identity is housed, in your emotions. Your identity is housed. The deeper that they can go and the more that they can get you to pour out once they get you hooked. It's not just that they want to beat you down. They do. They want to beat you down and destroy you because you are on an opposite team. You are warring, you all. You're warring. Y'all think this is funny, man. It ain't funny. This is a war. When it talks about Ephesians 6:12, it's not a joke, y'all. But y'all want to look at the physicality of this, or the psychological issues. The psychological issues came after the spiritual issues, okay? It's the spiritual shit. This is spiritual stuff, man. Mainly. It just starts to absorb and become and look, and to people that only can think in physicality, that's what you're going to look at. You're going to see that. And because it's psychologists and stuff, they don't talk about the spiritual side. Nobody talks about the spiritual side of very few people. And if they do, they touch on it. They don't know how it works. And that's because there's nobody that just talks about this and diagnoses it. And it doesn't get hits on channels. It really doesn't. Nobody wants to hear when they're brokenhearted that they're the person they're with and they're still hooked to, because they're not really breaking the trauma bond. They're still hooked to them. They want to hear how much the narcissist misses them. They don't want to hear how they can heal and what the etiology is. I go into the etiology. Yes, it's intriguing. It's interesting to me, but I also know it has a biblical background. And there's good and evil, and these people are dealing with dark energy. And when you start to see demonic faces, when you start to see that the character of these individuals are just like the Satan of the Bible, y'all, these guys are not playing with you. They come in looking like they're simple, they're very kind individuals, but once they come in, once they get you hooked, those fingernails turn to claws, those teeth turn to fangs, y'all. I mean, you can tell me I'm crazy, shit, I don't care. I'm telling you, this is the truth. And things are never as though it seems. It talks about that in the Word. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about the Bible either. Well, I'm talking about the Bible. Without the Bible, I ain't got nothing. Without the Lord, I ain't got nothing. So, I guess unsubscribe, man. If you don't like the stuff I talk about or whatever, I mean, I guess you would never have subscribed, so fine. But the bottom line is people want to hear stuff because they're still connected to the narcissist, and they really don't want to break it. A lot of times they want to find ways around it so they can be with the narcissist, and so that they can learn to be more of a pleaser to the narcissist, more codependent to the narcissist. That's not the way you want to be. That's not the way you want to heal. You want to heal by getting away from these individuals and only learning about them so you can learn how to stay away from them. They get down and they continually get you out of sorts because they get you hooked, they get you completely out of sorts. And the deeper that energy goes, that they're hurting you, it's the deeper and the more that you pour out because you want them to understand you feel like you love them. Maybe you did. Who cares whether it was trauma bond or love? It doesn't matter. You're still dealing with a devil, man. And this is why they're doing it. They're doing it because the deeper they go, that's how they get to your identity. The emotions, the feelings that hold and are the fingerprint of your identity, so that when they flip with you that very last time, that's why they always come to you. Whenever you have a breakup with them at the very last time, it turns into them completely degrading you. And that's for you to absorb it so that they can just crush you at the end. But it's not just to crush you, it's to crush you to take your identity, your fuel that holds in it. And is your identity. The top of your fuel, okay, is kind of like when somebody gets upset. They hurt your feelings, okay? And I always say, this is not energy that they're taking that just you hurt my feelings, that you upset me, that you stole from me or cheated on me. It's not just that. It gets worse. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And the deeper you go, it gets to your the core of your identity fuel. It's like getting to the bottom of a jar and scooping out the last bit. That's where you have all the sediment or whatever. It's going to be where all the nutrients of it is. Well, this is where the nutrients of your fuel is. The nutrients of your fuel is when you're winded and you're down and you're giving them all and you're still trying to pour it out. What comes next is your fuel that holds and houses your identity, your fingerprint. And then when they scoop that up after all that trauma at the last little bit and they walk away, they toss all of their sin soul energy in you, because it doesn't even have their identity in it. It just has all the fuel for all the devastation and destruction they've been carrying, all the fear because of all of the get back that people are going to be coming to, that are vengeful, that want to hurt them. They throw it all on you. And then that's why you walk away paranoid, because that's the fear of the stuff that's about to come to them, the vengeance, the repercussions. Everybody has to face these types of fears, but they toss it. They toss it on you at the end. And that's why that's the kind of energy you get at the very end more. Because when you get that at the very end, you're not gonna stay with them if they gave you the fearful fuel, the real abrasive, horrible fuel, and the paranoia type fuel that they're holding and housing. They give that to you at the very end when they leave you, when they're about to ditch you and take your identity. When they grab your identity, they toss that crap in you. This is spiritual. And because you consent and you're in a covenant and you're giving and you're tossing fuel back and forth with them because you agreed to be in a love partner relationship with evil, this is what happens at the raw deal of being unequally yoked, y'all. They're stealing your identity, but they have to come back when it wears off. This is witchcraft. It's witchcraft in a physical form. There's no other way of looking at it. I don't care how many psychotherapists and psychologists will tell you otherwise. They'll have a mapping of it and some mathematics. It's BS. This is spiritual. And I'm just going to throw this out there just so I don't get a knock on a channel. This is for entertainment purposes only, because I have to. But this is what happens. And they're reprobate. If you watch my videos in the last week or two, I broke down how they're reprobate. There's no way they can get saved. And you can wish it all you want. Christians come on this channel all the time and wish it all they want. It's not going to happen. It's a law that's put into the foundation of this world system. And what these narcissists are doing is witchcraft. Witchcraft is to manipulate some of the cracks in the foundations of the rules that God put into this world system. But he also has them there and knows they're going to be manipulated. God doesn't do anything without knowing it's going to happen. He also knew they were going to, if you allow people in like this, and they're dealing with devils, with demons, they're going to be able to hijack your endocrine system. But he also warned you before it happened that you shouldn't be with people that are unequally yoked. And also what I wanted to say is the reason why they smear up your name and they character assassinate, because what they have done now is when they walk away, when they have walked away, they have placed all of their crap onto you. So what they're doing is they're smearing up your character and smearing up your name. The smear campaign is all about what they have done to you. Do you understand that that's because they stole your identity? So everything they have done to you is now housed in you. That's why you feel like a narcissist, because they've switched energy with you. There's no other reason why. Even these people, these psychotherapists will tell you other things. I'm telling you the truth. This is what it is. You feel like a narcissist because you are actually housing the narcissist's energy, almost full on at that point. And they're almost full on you. They're copycats for real, y'all. And that's what they're doing. They are character assassinating, and everything about you that they're telling everybody is exactly what they're doing to you, what they've done to you. And then when they leave you, they act like you. Do you know why they act like you? Because they're holding and housing all of your energy. It's not hard for them. People will even say that they'll stop, if they have addictions, they'll stop the addictions for a time throughout that part of a cycle. Well, yeah, they're stopping addictions because you didn't have the addictions. Now they're wearing your energy. It's not hard for them to quit an addiction if they're not even enticed to do it, because you're wearing that energy. That's why you're so uncomfortable, because you're probably dealing with feelings of their addictions and feelings of all of their wants and desires and all their crap when they leave you. And it takes a time. You gotta walk it out and wear it off. You got to burn it off somehow. And that's how you can get in big trouble, man. You can say things you don't want to say. You can do things you don't want to do. You wouldn't normally do, but you're so pissed off and annoyed and you don't know why. And then you don't know who you are. And, you know, you can get people come at you with that, hurt you, unalive you when you are handling that energy and you're not operating in it correctly. I'm saying correctly because they operate it on a daily basis when they're housing it. You don't. And then you're just dealing with the betrayal and all the things that they've done right before they just, treated you like crap and took off. And then when they leave, it's like you just want to find out how you can get them back, or how can I learn narcissism so that I can then go back to them and then learn and to find ways around it. It's ridiculous. I get it. I've been there, but I'm just saying, It's a mess. It's a mess. But I'm telling you, if you just listen to them psychotherapists, psychologists, and other people that have those channels, man, they're not telling you the raw truth. I'm telling you the raw truth of this. As I get it, you get it. And God's been allowing me to open this up and show this to you. And show it to me. Because I have a desire to know this stuff. And I have a background in seminary school. I have a background in eclectically working in mechanical field, which helps you to understand the body and pressures. I have a degree in that, and I have a degree in healthcare. And I also studied the deal with the Genesis 6 era for years, y'all. Dealing with demons and giants and fallen angels and all of the different copulations and how God would find them as an abomination. He doesn't like hybrids, y'all. That's why you will see in Genesis, when he created everything, even when it was the trees, it was the seed after its own kind, seed after its own kind, seed after its own kind, seed after its own kind. And when the fallen angels came, they made hybrids. And what the narcissist has done is made a hybrid out of themselves by getting these frontal lobes turned off. And it's mainly in the right side. You know why it's in the right side mainly? And I'll tell you, I didn't want to tell you these things, but y'all, I'm getting to the point where I have to. But because everything to the anatomical right in this world system, or mainly in the biblical narrative, mainly is all blessed on the anatomical right. And that's because Christ sits to the right hand of God the Father, the anatomical right. It's the guy on the anatomical right that accepted him. It's you blessed with the anatomical right. And everything on the left was considered sinister. That's why everything is shut off on the right, mainly. That's where you find your creativity, your love centers, and your common sense. All of the God-given centers that represent the character and the nurturing of God, of Christ. The sun, it rises on the flat earth. I don't care if you believe the flat earth or not. It doesn't matter. The anatomical right is where the sun rises. It sets on the west, darkness, Satan. It's all throughout. That's why the mark of the beast would go in the right hand or the forehead, because it's going to go in Christ's hand to mock God. And it's only going in the forehead if you had an amputated left hand. I mean, an amputated right hand, because he ain't putting it in his hand, the left hand, you see? Even on the dollar bill, it's the left eye, and you could tell by the eyebrow. Listen, I know this stuff. I've been in this so-called conspiracy theory stuff for decades, y'all, and it's real. That day where that stuff happened with those planes and everything, that's Christ's real birthday. And that's why they perform a lot of destruction on that day, because there's only one day in 1,000 years where in Revelation, the way the planets align with the moon and as described as the woman birthing the baby, it's talking about Christ. It's only one day in every 1,000 years that cycle occurs. And it's on that day, y'all. Christ wasn't born on December 25th. He was born in the early fall.